and it wouldn't let me delete the card that I put on here. So I changed it to an out-of-date card, right?
What, your debit?
Yeah. I changed it to an out-of-date card, and do you know what Microsoft did? They tried taking it from the out-of-date card, obviously, it didn't work, so they reverted straight back to the other card that I've got stored on there and took it. Yeah. EA exit. See, look! Needs attention. I bet it does. Where is it? Turn on auto-renew. Yeah, see, I've cancelled mine. So, mine expires on the 9th of this month.
Well, I've paid for it for the last 5 months.
But go into your subscriptions and see if there's a cancel option. Oh man, is there anything else you want? Do you want my gaming PC? Do you want to take that with you? Yeah? Rearrange these words. Fuck yourself, go. Now get out of my room. Have you locked the front door? I'll tell you, if anyone asks, I'll never tell them I'm related to you. I'll tell them I'm your carer. Because you're thick. Can I take your front door key? I've lost mine. But Jake, you've just come in from work. Well, it's either in my bedroom or somewhere. Have you checked the front door? Oh, look, it's in the door. You cock. Go away, Jake, go away. Sorry about that, George. It's so rudely interrupted me.
It's alright.
Please tell me you didn't capture that on stream.
Unfortunately.
No way! No way! Oh my... Jake, you've embarrassed me again! George captured all that on bleeding stream on Twitch! You get out! Get out!
To be honest, I caught half of that. Oh,
what? No, I haven't. Get out! Jesus. Selfish. I do everything for you. Unbelievable. Right. Well, you got the game going anyway. Let's forget the past 5 minutes.
Let's get us
concentrate on this game.
Okay.
That looks really nice and crisp and sharp. Actually, really crisp.
I'm trying to look at my stream, but stupid Xbox ad. Okay, there we go. It's so weird seeing me in the past. Like in the past 10 seconds. Crazy. Okay. See? OBS works a lot better. The same settings, same everything, but for some reason OBS works in Streamlabs, OBS doesn't. For some reason. Okay. Hopefully this game won't crash on me like it did last time. Let's see.
What is this playing on? Xbox or PC?
PC.
PC, right.
But the remastered Bioshock 1 and 2 are just... they're not completely fucked. It's just... there's just problems with freezing and... oh my god, do not tell me. Where am I? Oh my god. I think I know where I am. And I remember... okay, I just lost... okay.
You didn't lose a lot of game playtime, did you?
I think I lost a lot of gameplay time. Hold on. Let me load another save. Because maybe they just loaded my autosave. I swear I thought it autosaved. Oh my god, no. Same place. Same place.
Oh man.
Oh no. Oh my god, this might as well be part 3 all over again. This is part 4. Oh, okay. Alright. Okay, so basically to recap, around this part I was shot with rocket launchers from a rocket launcher machine gun type thing that just continually keeps shooting rocket launchers.
That's fine. Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made. Okay, this part again. I enjoyed this part. Oh no.
Uncivil, uncouth, unconsumate.
Oh no! Get away from me! Ah, get away from me! Jesus. The funny thing is, I expected this to happen because I've already been through this. It was still scary.
That is nuts, man.
Ah.
I haven't played these games for ages.
You've played Bioshock before?
Yeah, I played them all. Bioshock 1, 2, and Bioshock Infinite. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And which one do you think is the best one?
I know a lot of people say no. I actually like Bioshock 2.
Bioshock 2.
Probably the best. I wasn't that keen on Bioshock Infinite.
Mm.
Oh, you got an Autobot there.
Yeah. I'm not smoking cigarettes. Potato chips.
Crisps.
Crisps. Why did I drink the alcohol? God damn it. Son of a bitch.
Echo, I never said anything. Right, I better mute my echo because it's coming up with crazy stuff.
Give me this.
Have you seen OJ's latest, his first tech video?
I watched it, yeah. And he unveiled his new
Where he
character.
Yeah, he did that transition into what was his name? Something Toby. I thought that was pretty funny actually.
Hater Toby?
Hater Toby, that's it. Yeah. It was like, what is happening here? And he does that swirl effect, and yeah, pretty cool.
Let's see. Oh, wrong one. Let's see. Bandages. Oh, I'm gonna run into the problem I had last time. I ran out of hypos, so I couldn't use my powers anymore. Oh boy.
Ah, lucky.
Unlucky. Well, I didn't realize that in this game you really have to conserve your powers. Like, you can't really go all out crazy with them.
Nah.
Ooh. So yeah, start hacking.
Oh god, I remember these parts, yeah.
Whoops. There we go.
Oh, look at George doing it like a pro, mate. Unbelievable.
Believe me, that was an easy one. Trying to hack those vending machines are a lot harder. Oh my god. Let's see. I'm scared to press the start button on the Xbox controller, because that's how my game froze last time.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
don't think I've really ever done that. Press the Xbox button while it's connected to my PC.
No, not the Xbox. The 3 lines
Oh,
to open up the map. Yeah.
right.
Oh boy. Uh-oh. Wow, I just allowed that to hit me in the face. There you go.
Yeah, he just stood there. So I come in and thought, I'm just going to step here. Ooh, nice one.
Oh my god. What? Oh my god.
Whoa.
Why is it that every grenade box is empty? That doesn't make sense. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I forgot, yeah. Then I need to go this way. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Gotta use that to destroy that. And I'm just leaving. Fuck that guy.
Why did I get a Discord notification? Rikuku, you don't want it, Squid? I can get you a code. It's no biggie. Okay. Dark Souls 2? Dark Souls Remastered. Don't offer it to us, will you, Aqua? No, I don't.
Ah, Jesus. Okay. There we go. Security bot. I don't know how well you remember Bioshock 1, Mark, but the next part coming up is kinda fucked up. Static discharge. Ryan Industries introduces the latest in wartime deterrent genetics. Static discharge makes you a walking Tesla coil, zapping anything and everything foolish enough to strike you. Feel safe, be safe with static discharge. Cool. A combat tonic. That's cool. First aid kit.
What can I do with this one, Aphrodite?
Okay.
I want to make them beautiful, but they always turn out.
Oh, I remember the doctor. Yeah.
This one too tall. This one too symmetrical. And now, what's this, guys? An intruder.
Oh boy.
Ugly, ugly, ugly.
What the fuck, man?
I'm sure he runs up some Something like that.
You know who I am.
Why did I get rid of my fire?
It's my patient.
Gotcha. Whew. Fuck, man.
First time. Nice.
Jesus Christ.
You alright? It was time somebody took care of that sick bastard. Make sure you get the key off Steinman. Head back to emergency access.
Oh,
I'm
goal
working my way to the
completed.
backside of Port Neptune myself. We'll get there soon enough.
You know, I've said this before, but this game kind of reminds me of Resident Evil 7, in a way. Well, because I mean, I know Bioshock came first, but it has its first person. It has a very horror element where it's just like things kind of shocking, jump scares, you know.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I never completed Resident 7. I got bored of it after. Like the creature designs in that. There's only like about 3 or 4 different actual creatures in there.
Mhm.
They reused them so much. Yeah, I never completed it.
I mean, it's kind of. I never bought it, so I can't really. I can't really.
Even tell you the name of the main guy in it. That's how people go on about that game, and I think they needed to change the formula, and making it first person gets rid of that peripheral vision. So any shots are going to be more shocking because if you're in third person, you can like see round, see side to side and stuff like that. But in terms of most people, if you said to them, right, name me the main character, what's his name in that game? Oh, I don't know. Exactly. You know, bring back Chris Redfield and that.
Well, all the characters that people know and that they already they're already invested in.
Yeah, kind of thing. Or I don't know. But I think they're going to stick with this first person. 'Cause I think it's sold fairly well.
Yeah, it's not the best-selling Resident Evil game, but it's much better in terms of popularity and the reception that Resident Evil 7 got. You know, Capcom is probably thinking, well, why would we go back to the old formula? The new formula is working. Like, who cares what some Resident Evil old school fans think? Let's just do what we want to do. This is kind of working, so let's just stick with it. At least that's how I think they're gonna do it.
Yeah, and I mean, God knows what happened to the Switch version. Because Capcom was so instrumental in getting Nintendo to double the amount of RAM. And not only that, they went from DDR3 to DDR4. Before the Switch launched, they had their RE engine and they had Resident Evil 7 working in portable mode. It was just a case of getting it working properly in docked mode. And then it's just like, nothing's ever come of it. God knows what happened to that.
Well, they probably thought that that since Resident Evil 7, well, I was gonna say like maybe Resident Evil 7 is too old, but that's not true because you know they ported over Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2 when those are older games. So I don't know, what could be the reason? Do you think maybe because they were planning on releasing Revelations 1 and 2 and they thought that maybe that was too much Resident Evil to bring over 7?
Could be.
Maybe Resident Evil 7 this year.
Yeah, quite possibly. I mean, I don't know how well it. Well, actually, I think it'd sell pretty well. Actually,
Maybe late November, like where Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2 were. Maybe so like a complete edition type of thing where it comes with all the DLC.
yeah, I can't see like Capcom would have like just abandoned it, because that's money you're just chucking down the drain. If they already had the game virtually finished, they're working in portable mode, so it's just a case of getting it working in docked mode, which is even more powerful. So I don't know. Yeah, I think it would sell well enough to warrant them releasing it.
Well, especially since I mean, obviously we know that the Switch is selling, still selling very well, still has a lot of momentum, and Nintendo already revealed their biggest, one of their biggest, if not the biggest game coming out this year, Smash Brothers. It's like, how do you not have confidence in Nintendo at this point to port over Resident Evil 7 or any other game that Capcom or any other company has? Especially since they had, like you said, they already have the Resident Evil engine up and running, and Nintendo did what they wanted them to do, which was increase the amount of RAM in the system. So it's kind of, at this point, Nintendo gave Capcom kind of what they wanted, so it should be, I don't know. I guess that maybe I'm expecting too much out of a business, but I think you should kind of, you know, I don't know if anything like keeping your word exists anymore. I don't know if there was some sort of deal that where Nintendo was like, okay, we'll increase the RAM, but you know, maybe you bring over Resident Evil 7 over to Switch.
I mean, that was the whole idea.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo wanted the new RE engine, which Resident Evil 7 runs on, and Capcom tested the Switch and said, for us to get it working properly, you need to double the RAM. And apparently Nintendo were like, you know, that's going to put the price up a little bit. And then they cut it, and actually, not only did they double it, they went from, they were going to use DDR3, they went to DDR4. I don't know, maybe Capcom said, look, yeah, you know, we'll port it to the Switch, but Nintendo, you pay for publishing. And Nintendo were like, no. You know, you want your game on our system that is the hottest system at the moment. You pay for publishing. I don't know. It could be that. It could. I just don't know. It's weird. It's a weird one. It really is.
Same thing with Square Enix, in my opinion, where it's just weird. It's weird that Square Enix, they're good with some games, but then when it comes to something like the Secret of Mana collection, and when it comes to the Secret of Mana remake, when it comes to Dragon Quest XI, they're weird, you know. But they do have a new IP coming to exclusively to the Switch. They have said that they want to support the Switch. They want to bring back certain IPs for the Switch, like older IPs. I just don't really see them. Based off of what they said, I would have expected them to do more, I guess. But maybe that's just my fault for expecting more, you know?
I'm kind of in the camp of what OJ says, and a lot of people say, if you're a Japanese developer, honestly, I don't know why, if you're not on board with Switch, what is your reason? In the West, we saw those queues of thousands of people lining up outside stores trying to get just a ticket to then try and, you know, be picked to go in and get a Switch. They were seeing those queues. They see the sales numbers each week. Why would you not be trying to get everything possible? I know it can't be done in like, we'd love it, but it can't be done in like a month or 2 or 3 months. But at least, you know, announce or say, yeah, you know, we're fully on board with the Switch. All future titles will come in there. Yeah, I mean, it's like basically, yeah, the owner of Falcom. I mean, it took NIS to step in to get Fuse 8 onto the Switch, because he was like, no, I just don't see the viability of the Switch. No, I'm not putting any of our games on there. NIS stepped in and said, look, we'll publish the game for the Switch, and that's why I want it to do really well, because that will send a message to the owner of Falcom, say, look, stuff you, mate. You know, you didn't want to put your games on here. Another company had to step in and say, look, we'll pay to publish it on the Switch. And now it's gone and sold like 1 million copies or something like that. Outsell the PS4 version.
Oh yeah,
even
it did.
then, I think he's so stubborn. I think he'd still say, well, that was just a fluke. I'm still not putting any more games on the Switch. That was just a fluke, you know what I mean? I may have made, you know, $100 million off it, but no.
Yeah, I mean, all the pro players are on PlayStation 4.
Exactly. You know what I mean? You know, 76 million install base, and everyone says a game is a massive success when it sells 2 million copies. Really? On a 76 to 77 million install base, 2 million copies sold. Hang on, 10% would be, say, 7.6, 5% would be 3.8. So that's about 4% of your install base bought that game, and it's a roaring success. Really? Not to me. It's not on an install base like that. Massive, really popular games should be selling at least 10, maybe 15% of your install base. Jeez, man.
I don't even know how many units Nintendo has sold at this point, but I'm assuming it's around 18, 19 million. I would assume.
Yeah, I'm thinking, because what was it, at Christmas we heard it was around 16 or something like that, or 15 point something. I'm sure it was. I'm going to say, when they reveal at their investor meeting, I'm going to say between 17.5 to 18, just going off, adding up the weekly sales in Japan each week, and then, because that's roughly around between 45 and 50,000 units a week, and then you've got 3 months of that, and then America, which is an even bigger market, and then Europe, Australia, and that. So it's, yeah, I'm going to say 17.5 to 18 million, which would be, man, that would be phenomenal in the first year.
Oh, definitely. It's a lot higher than what Nintendo expected. It's a lot higher than what a lot of people expected. A lot of even analysts weren't projecting that many for the Nintendo Switch in the beginning. Obviously, a lot of people raised their projections. I forgot which analyst it was, but somebody said like the Switch at some point will sell like 120 million units. At some point, it would sell that much.
I remember that there was a couple of analysts. One was from the Wall Street, and I don't know where the other one was. Can't remember where it was from. But yeah, it would outsell. It would match or outsell the Wii in its lifetime. I mean, Nintendo first projected 10 million.
10 million first year.
Then they raised it, I think, to 12 or something like that. So at the end of this month, I thought it was the end of March, but it must be the end of April. When they go to their investors meeting and they say, look, you know we said we'd sell 12 million? Well, guess what? We sold nearly 18. Isn't that amazing? Share value has gone right up. Invest more money in Nintendo stock.
But they're still going to be asking for Universal Japan tickets.
Oh, yeah. You know, major investors get to ask a question. Yes, sir, what's your question? Can I get a free tickets for your new theme park? We have nothing to do with that. You know, would you waste your one question asking if you can get... You're a major investor, so you've obviously got money. Can I get free tickets?
Can we get in for free?
Jesus, what? Man. I don't know what I'd ask, but I certainly wouldn't be asking for that. Unbelievable.
I think Nintendo doesn't like having to talk to investors. I don't think any company does, in my opinion. They have to talk to investors.
If they didn't have to, they certainly.
Oh, they would not. No.
Nah.
I mean, it's a good process to keep companies honest and, you know, to be upfront about their business. But then there's just some investors that just do not know what they're investing into. Like, I forgot what year it was, but some investor got mad that at the investors meeting, Nintendo was talking about video games, and he was like, this is an investor's meeting. Why are we talking about video games? I'm like, this is a video game company.
What the heck? Do you know what you've invested in? What the? That is just dumb, man.
I just think that some people just like, oh, like the stock is going up for this company, let's invest, but they don't care what the company is. They don't care what they do, what their business model is. They just care about, okay, you made this amount of money. What are you gonna do next to make even more money? And that's all they care about. Which I get, because you're an investor, but for a creative business like video gaming, the video game industry, you have to be a little more lenient when it comes to, because it's a cycle, this type of business. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're kind of in the middle, where Microsoft is right now in terms in their video game stuff. I mean, obviously Microsoft, they make so much goddamn money, but
yeah,
Nintendo a couple years ago was not doing well in terms of their home console business, but now they've gone up. Sony's been up this generation with the PlayStation, but with the PS3, in the beginning it was down. Like, a lot of people weren't buying PS3s because they were so expensive. I think, didn't it launch at $600, the PlayStation 3? Insane amount of money for a system with the cell processor, which was not easy to work with, especially compared to the Xbox 360. That's why some games, or a lot of games, ran better on 360, even though it was weaker than the PlayStation 3. Games still ran better because of the architecture. So it's stuff like that where sometimes you try, especially with Nintendo, where you try something new, you try something different. Sometimes it works, and sometimes, it doesn't do well. So, it's an up and down cycle. And I guess if I was just an investor and I didn't know that about Nintendo, I guess I would be mad too. But I mean, I think investors should at least, get a little more knowledge of what they're investing into, and or else they'll be asking for free tickets.
That's awesome. You sold 18 million consoles, but how many cars did you sell? Don't you manufacture cars? I thought it was a car manufacturing company. What the hell have I invested in? Unbelievable. It's crazy, man.
You should start investing into making cars.
Unbelievable.
Oh, hi, Julio. Bro, looking fresh with the camera. Oh, thank you. It's just my webcam on my laptop. Hey, Zach Brown, how's it going? It's going well.
Zach Brown.
Hey, hi, Zach Brown. I see him a lot on OJ streams.
Yep.
Good to see you.
My day's not too bad. I did a test stream of Ni no Kuni earlier. Went really well, except I chose the wrong audio source, so there was no audio on there. But apart from that, it went really well.
Did it just no audio at all, or could they just hear your voice?
No, I had my headset muted anyway.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, no audio whatsoever. But there's video there.
And you got the game to work?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Got it working. Yep. Yeah. Didn't drop any frames. Constant 60. So.
Nice. What kind of PC do you have? Or is it on a? No, you got it on PC, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a gaming PC. I've got GTX 1080 Ti, i7s, 7700K, and 16 gigs of DDR5.
Jesus, I think we have the same computer. Because I have a i7, I have 16 gigs of RAM, I have a GTX GeForce 1050 Ti. That's what I have in my computer.
Any of the 10 range, which is the Pascal architecture, are fine for gaming and streaming. Mine is the 1080 Ti. Did I need to go for that? No, I just got it because it was like their top end one at the time.
Yeah.
And it's like I shouldn't need to upgrade it for quite a
for a
few years
while,
yet.
yeah.
So, Yeah.
But even then, you know, 16 gigs should last a little while into like the processor, the amount of gigs. I mean, although there are a couple of games now that require 16 gigabytes to run on the PC. A lot of them 8, but I think I forgot what game it was, but I remember seeing a game. Shoot, what was the game? But there was a game that was like you required 16 for the recommended settings, 16 gigabytes to run, and I'm just like 16. But this is on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. How is it 16 gigs to run on PC on the recommended settings, but on PS4 and Xbox One, it's obviously it doesn't have 16 gigs. It's only 8 gigs. It's just, I feel like with some games, developers, for some reason, don't optimize the PC version very well, I think.
I was about to say, that's got to be a badly optimized game. If it absolutely needs 16 gigs, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
I think...
Like my graphics card, I've got the Asus Strix version of the GTX 1080, and for some reason it absolutely doesn't need it, but they put 11 gigs of DDR5X memory on that.
Oh Jesus! Wow.
There's no need for that much video RAM.
I think I have 4 gigabytes of video RAM. I think
That's plenty.
Yeah.
That's plenty enough. I saw Hayden when he was streaming the other night. I think he's got 2.
2 gigs, yeah.
And maxing it out. I could see he was maxing it out when I saw his obs.
Well, I mean, I guess if you want to stream and play your games comfortably, I think you need 4 gigs. But I think if you just want to play games and not stream, I think 2 gigs is fine. I just
Yeah, but when you don't know what an upload speed is, and you're on a 2-bar Wi-Fi connection, you've got Far Cry 5 maxed out on ultra settings, and you're wondering, why am I getting stuttering? Hayden, if you ever watch this stream, I love man, but seriously.
I told you I tried to stream Sea of Thieves, and it didn't. No, Zach Brown. It didn't freeze again. At least not now. I just have it. I'm at a decision right now, and I'm just talking to Mark right now. Oh, Julio says that he looks forward to your Ni no Kuni stream at some point. Mark.
Yeah, a bit of that. Ni no Kuni. Man, I can't even type now. Ni no Kuni to a. I don't know why I'm typing it because you can hear me talking. Yeah, I may try and stream a bit later, Julio, if I can work out how to get the correct audio source.
What was it on anyway? The audio source.
My headset, and my headset was hanging up, and it was muted. Like I can press like just a little button on the mic, and it mutes it. And
oh, okay.
So I was hearing the audio obviously because I was playing the game, but yeah. When I played the video back through Twitch, it was like, why is there no volume? Into OBS. Audio source. Let me have a look. Razer headset. Ah, crap. Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, that's weird. I have a Razer headset also.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, not on me right now, obviously, because you can see my face, but I have it. I'll show it to you, like on the stream. It's like this weird black and green one.
Has it got? My one's got the one where on each side the logo you can have it like change colours and that. No,
it's just the plain logo. I used to have an Afterglow one where it could do that, and like the top band could like change colors also. But the quality on that one was kind of garbage. But this one is pretty decent also. It kind of has a mic on it too. It's pretty good.
Looked fairly similar to that one, yeah. But the logos on the outside of each actual headset, you can have them like going in fast rainbow colours, or you can have them. They call it breathing. I think I've got mine on breathing now, which I've got it on red at the moment. It just goes red, fades out, then comes back to red, fades out, and that. Yeah, it's okay. Not a bad headset.
Thank you for helping.
So we've been up to Mr. Zach Brown.
bounds playing you for a sap. Those things may look like wee little girls.
And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to my George's Twitch.
Yeah, Zach, if you want to subscribe to Mark's Twitch, it's aka Deviator on Twitch.
But also don't forget, you know, if you haven't hit that follow button on George's channel.
Okay, so I just saved the little sister. I don't know if that was a good thing to do or not, but I felt bad.
Yeah.
I've noticed that when I play a lot of these games that give you morality choices, I tend to choose the heroic or good things to do rather than the bad things. And I remember, I don't know if you've ever played a game series called Infamous, Mark?
Infamous. I think I've heard of it, but I'm not sure that I've ever played it.
Well, it started on the PlayStation 3. It was actually the game that got me to buy the PS3.
Was there one called Infamous Second Son or something?
On PlayStation 4.
I've heard of them, yeah, but I've not played them, yeah.
I remember when, because that was the third one in the series, but Infamous 2, I remember the developers who made that game actually took a survey of the people that played that game and asked them, what decisions do you normally choose when playing Infamous? And I think it was 85 to 90% of everybody who participated said that they choose the heroic side, because and I think the overwhelming reason was because that was the right thing to do. And I felt, I don't know, I guess I can relate to that. I think in video games it's kind of harder for me to choose to do the bad things for some reason, even though I know this isn't real life and this isn't a real thing that's going to affect my personal life. But I don't know, my first instinct is to do the right thing. I don't know if that's...
Well, luckily they never surveyed me. What do you mean, save the lady? Get out of here.
I wanted a few extra points. Unless it's like GTA and like the point of the entire game is to do bad things, so. But when it comes to giving you a choice, it's, I don't know, I usually pick the right one, but, or what I think is right, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me pretending to be a good person.
Nah, you're a good person, blimey. Everyone's got their own choices, haven't they? You know, I think most people probably do choose the, in quotes, correct thing to do.
Or is that a way to look good in front of other people, though? Maybe you only do the right thing because society judges you in that way. That could also be a factor when faced with the choice. I mean, also, like, these are just video games, so it's a lot easier to be a good person in a video game, but in real life, you know, it's kind of harder to be a good person, I think.
Hang on, I'm back in a set. My nephew's doing something and I can hear him. Hang on.
Okay. And yes, no, Zach Brown, Bioshock didn't freeze. I think I answered that already, but no, it didn't freeze. I just saved the little sister right now. I don't know if you guys support that decision or not, but I don't know. Like I was telling Mark, I tend to choose like the correct, quote unquote, or the good choice, but you know, I keep forgetting that you guys can see me. You can see my stupid face on stream. I mean, I don't know. I remember the reason why I chose a webcam to use my webcam, even though it's not the best camera, obviously. Julio told me to use it, and I don't know. I don't know if it adds to the experience. I don't know if it's the webcam's distracting for you guys. I don't know, but health upgrade, increase. First aid kits give you. Oh, that's a good one. Increase your maximum Eve. These two look awesome. First aid kits give you Eve, and armored shell reduces all physical damage. That's perfect. Don't be a softie. Useful in any hazardous situation. Armored Shell offers fantastic protection against life's bumps and bruises. Don't be a softie. Use Armored Shell now. And if you call in the next 20 minutes, we'll give you a second one absolutely free. Just pay shipping and handling. And I always hated that in infomercials. They get your hopes up by giving you the same product for free, but then they fuck you over with the shipping and handling. I went over to YouTube for a bit because Twitch was having difficulties, and I followed Mark's channel. Okay. Mark's not here right now, but that's great, Zach Brown. Zach, you're very supportive of us. I mean, you don't have to be, but I appreciate you being in the chat and watching me play and stuff. Thank you. And also Julio, also, because I know Julio's, drives around a lot, and he's got stuff to do. And I don't have enough Adam for health or Eve. I think I'm gonna do the Eve upgrade because I get enough health packs anyway. So I'll do the Eve upgrade next. So I just saw somebody named Tellenbaum. Oh, you know what? I'm saving the game. Save. Yes. There. Saved it. Jesus.
You're ready now. It's time to take on one of them big daddies. It won't be easy, but it's the only way to get the little sister and the Adam they carry.
Zach Brown, thank you for streaming Bioshock for us. Oh, no problem, man.
Yeah, you're welcome, Zach. It's something I don't like talking about it, mate. You know, like we were talking about moral choices and that.
Mm.
Do it in games, but how about real life?
Yeah.
That actually happened to me. Would you, how can I say this without before telling you what happened? If you were absolutely told to do something, but in your mind, what you were told to do might endanger someone else, would you disobey that knowing that you might lose your job or something really bad might happen to you?
So if I'm told to do something, I might hurt somebody else, but if I don't do it, I get fired or something bad happens to me.
Yeah, what you're told to do, the actions that you're told to do could endanger some people, maybe get them killed in your mind, or would you listen to your conscience, think, no, this is wrong, this is absolutely wrong, innocent people are going to die, and disobey it?
Well, my first gut reaction is to disobey the order, but then there's other factors that come into play, such as, who am I trying to protect? what are the exact ramifications of my actions at the same time, and what my overall position is in whatever it is I'm doing. But I would probably go with protecting somebody by disobeying orders.
Okay. Right.
But again, but see, sometimes when people ask moral dilemmas like that, it's very easy to pick the high ground, to say you would do something that will hurt you in order to benefit somebody else. But it's another thing to actually be in the situation and in that position where it will actually affect your life, rather than just thinking that it would affect your life. That's harder, because I've been in moral dilemmas where I chose the wrong thing, where I made the selfish decision to help myself, because sometimes I'm a weak person. And I think a lot of people have that weakness. Sometimes, you regret doing something that you knew was wrong, but you did it anyway, and it's just those memories just come back to haunt you, every so often, and you're like, oh man, why did I do that? That was so stupid, or that was fucked up.
This was the position I was in. In Afghanistan. We were sent out quite early in the morning on a patrol to go and scout out. You couldn't even call it a village, because it wasn't a village, for a potential FOB. And the intelligence we got was it's deserted, there's no one there. So we proceeded to travel to that destination. Upon about maybe 3/4 of a mile out, I told the convoy to halt and to scout around, and we saw there were insurgents in that village, and there were civilians. And absolutely, they were using all the time. They would use civilians as human shields. I asked one of the radio operators to radio back to the base that intelligence has changed. That's like 7 or 8 hour old intelligence. It's absolutely changed. Told them what the situation was. Order came back. No, proceed. And I'm like, and I absolutely did the wrong thing here. Being in charge, I actually asked a corporal for advice, and you never do that. Jesus, you never do that. And he basically said, so it's not up to me. And 3 times I got the radio operator to ask, look, can you do a flyby, so that the higher ups back at the base can see exactly what we're seeing. No, there's no aircraft available at the moment. There's no drones available. So in the end, I decided, nah, civilians are going to get killed here. Yeah, we might clear the village, but civilians are going to die. So 3 times they reiterated, proceed with original orders. I disobeyed them, turned the convoy around, and went back to base. And for that, I got court-martialed.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And they cited 2 reasons. One I agreed with, and one I didn't. One was you disobeyed direct orders, and you can't argue back at a court-martial. You just have to stand there and take it.
Yeah. And
the second one, I agreed with them. They said they'd noticed that I had a problem differentiating myself to my subordinates. I had problem giving orders to someone and making sure that they carried out those orders. And I must admit I did, because I wanted, this is going to sound bad, but I wanted to be kind of liked by all my fellow soldiers and that, and giving them orders. Sometimes I felt, oh man, they're going to hate me. I'm telling them to do this, I'm telling them to do that. And I agreed with in my head. I thought, do you know what, you're absolutely right. Yep, I do have a problem with that. But the first one, yeah, I did disobey orders, but you were going on intelligence that was 7, 8 hours old, and you refused to get an aircraft to even do a flyby or a drone, so that they could see back at base live footage of these insurgents and civilians there. But oh well.
Wow. I mean, if I was in your position, I wouldn't know what to do. Honestly, yeah, I wouldn't know.
It's and then shortly after that, obviously, I got injured.
Mm.
When the vehicle was getting out, I got hit, and I was medically discharged anyway. So
Mhm.
it kind of did affect me because my pension would be higher if I was still at that rank before I got demoted. But apart from that, you know. So yeah, it like you said though, it's easy for people to say, "Oh, if I was in that situation, I know what I would do this." Yeah, but until you're put in that situation, you can't really.
You
say.
can't really know.
Yeah.
We have an idea of what kind of person we are in our heads, but when you're actually faced with reality, sometimes there's conflicts. Sometimes you find yourself doing things that you didn't think you were capable of, and and then some people develop disorders because of that, because of those conflicts, because their ideal self and their real self no longer match anymore because of a situation that they were faced with, and
Absolutely.
they chose differently than what they thought they would choose. That's why I try to be. That's why I try to be honest with myself all the time. That's why I try to look at myself objectively, because it's easy for people to delude themselves into thinking that they're a good person or that they will always do the right thing. I don't think so. I think we're all human and we all make mistakes, and some part of us are selfish. We look out for ourselves, but we can also be empathetic and kind. It just depends on the situation.
That's human nature.
That's human nature.
I don't believe in God. I don't believe in God, but I absolutely, and maybe this is, you know, how can you not believe in God, but you believe in? I believe in karma. I believe. I try to help people if I can, because obviously I haven't done enough good at the moment because I'm still waiting for something good to happen to me. But there you go. But I believe that if you help other people and try to do things for them when you can, at some point in your life, something good will happen to you. And I take other people at face value. If they tell me something, I have no reason to disbelieve them. I think to myself, why would they lie to me? I take them at face value, unless I absolutely find out, you liar, you didn't do that, or you haven't got that game, or whatever. Until, you know, I take people at face value. What they say to me, I've got no reason not to believe them, because inherently I believe most people are good.
Yeah, I think so too. Until they break that trust, and then it never goes back to what it was before. You know, you trust somebody, and then you find out they've lied to you or they did something, and then you realize, well, you're still friends with them or you're still around them, but it's not really the same anymore.
It's never how it used to be.
Exactly.
You might not say anything to them, but always in the back of your head you'll be thinking,
this motherfucker.
I still talk to them, but I remember that time when you were going to do this, or you said you did that, and it turns out you never, or she never, or whatever. I get it. Oh, who lives in here?
Zach Brown says, life can throw situations at us that we don't know how to handle. Yeah, I'd say a lot of situations get thrown at me. Hey Julio, situations get thrown at me that I don't know how to handle, and that's where I usually make mistakes, because I don't know how to handle certain situations, and then I think that's when you really learn about yourself. I think when everything goes right for you, I don't think you really know yourself. You don't know what's wrong with you, or things that you do badly when everything goes right. When everything goes wrong, or certain things go wrong, I think that's when your character is truly tested, and we find out who you really are. That's what I think. Because I think at that moment that you told me, Mark, I think that's where you were really tested right there. I think that was, I guess, the quote-unquote moment of truth about who you are as a person.
But I know, I know what I should have done. I know that I should have absolutely followed the orders I was given. 3 times I was given the same orders, and I disobeyed them. And I couldn't say anything at the court martial because you can't. You're just standing there in front of like 3 generals.
It's like being yelled at by your parents. You're like, you just got to take it.
And you just have to nod. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When really what you want to say is, but look, blah, 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 blah. But you can't. But yeah, it's one of them. If I could go back, would I change my decision? I can't say. I can't. I don't know.
Or maybe... Well, there's... And here's another thing that I... where real life differentiates from video games. Moral dilemmas, like the one you talked about, they're never just purely good or just purely bad. There's always a mix between the two. There's a lot of times where doing the right thing doesn't necessarily mean everything works out in the end. Where it's all a happy ending, everybody's understanding, everybody knows what you did was ultimately right. It's just sometimes you do... I personally think you did the right thing. But, I mean, I'm not in the military, so I don't understand. I don't fully understand that life. But on a personal level, I think you did the right thing. But at the same time, there's consequences for even doing the right thing. And I think that's what makes it harder to do it. It's because you don't get a pat on the back, you don't get congratulated. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes people just get mad at and yell at you for doing the right thing. And
but when I think about it, we weren't blind to what was being broadcast back in UK or back in the States about, oh, you know, the British and the Americans, they're winning hearts and minds out there. Like flipping heck were we winning hearts and minds, mate. To our faces, most of the civilians out there, you know, were nice as pie and that, but if given the chance, the minute you turned your back, they'd shoot you, stab you. So a lot of people in my position out there would have just thought, look, these civilians don't want us here anyway. They may not like the Taliban, but they don't want us here even more. So they would have just gone ahead anyway. So maybe I did quite possibly I did the wrong thing. Absolutely the wrong thing. I never believed we should have been there in the first place. I didn't believe in the Afghan war. We did no good out there. So.
I guess it depends on your perspective. I think from a military point of view, it was the wrong thing. But I think as from my perspective, a human perspective, I think you saved the lives of civilians. I mean, albeit also the enemy, but those civilians had nothing to do with it. And I don't know. I just think I personally think it was right. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But that's the thing. Well, you really don't know.
Someone thinks I did the right thing.
I think most people would agree with you, Mark. Here, as I think civilians would agree with you, Mark. Maybe not the military or personnel within the military, but I think many civilians would agree with you that you did the right thing.
I appreciate that, George, and that's I've got 10,000 notches that people disagreeing, but I finally got someone who agrees. Yep.
I don't know, man.
Julio, are you there?
Hey, Julio.
I'm here, brother. I didn't want to cut in.
I didn't want to say something.
No, you're good.
I got after whatever you guys were talking about, so I don't know what you guys were talking about. I got in after.
Oh, we were basically talking about moral dilemmas and how people would really react if they were in the same situation or in an actual situation. And we were just like, talking about what's right and what's wrong and stuff like that.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, it started because I'm playing Bioshock, and they gave me a moral dilemma. So I was like, that's kind of weird. And moral dilemmas, it's easy to make the right decision. in a video game, but in real life, it's a lot more complicated than that, you know?
Yeah, that's very true. Very true.
Hmm? Like right now, I have to kill a Big Daddy so I can get some points. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, if you don't kill that Big Daddy, he's liable to rip your arms and legs off. So, yeah, I'm thinking killing him is probably the best thing to do.
How do you kill him?
Oh God. Yeah, I know you have to use your what do they call them? Yeah, like if you've got electricity.
Yeah.
Because if I remember rightly, they are in metal suits, Big Daddies.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any puddles around? No. Because puddles are really effective when you've got electricity. Someone's standing in one. And things like that. Help. Where's the little bit? Oh, there she is.
Whoa, whoa. Jesus.
Yeah, I think it told you that drill arm.
Jesus. This is some scary ass shit.
Yeah.
They don't call him Big.
Oh fuck. Oh shit.
Oh, that's a nice shot.
Oh my god.
So was the mage / like bounty hunter or something?
Who?
You.
I think you're just a guy. I mean, as far as the story is right now, it sounds like you're just a guy who shows up in this underwater city, and you don't know what the fuck's going on.
Weren't you on a boat at the beginning, if I remember right?
Mhm.
Something like that. Yeah. And it's this underworld utopia that this other guy has built a long time ago. And something went wrong, I can't remember. And yeah, this is the result of it.
Mhm.
I remember the first time when I played it, I was going through like a corridor underwater, and the first time you see one of these big whales just swimming by, it was awesome, really awesome.
Do you think they'll ever there's like 3 of them, right? You think they'll bring them to Switch?
Bioshock, well, 2K is the publisher, so they might be bringing, you know what, they might. You know, I never even thought of that. I never even thought about the possibility of Bioshock being brought over to Switch, but yeah.
The Switch could easily handle all 3 Bioshock.
Yeah. Hopefully the remaster version gets fixed, but you know, I think it could.
It's just a case of whether 2K wants to publish them on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'd sell well, actually.
I think so. Yeah.
But I know a lot of people said they liked them a lot.
Andrew Ryan asks you a simple
Yeah.
It's a popular franchise, that's for sure.
I think 2K is making a new Bioshock.
It's either a new Bioshock or Borderlands. And I know a lot of people want a new Borderlands, but I think more people want a new Bioshock.
Oh, definitely.
Zach Brown says, I love that Bioshock, such a weird but cool world.
It has deep storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Zach Brown also says, I think you did the right thing, Mark. So
yeah.
You got another guy. You got another guy, Mark.
That's 2 now. That's 2.
Make it 3, bro. I agree with you, Mark.
That's 3. Once I get to 1,000, I'm going to go back to them generals and say, look, you were wrong. See, look, 1,000 people said I was right.
Oh shit!
Whoa, man, he hit you full on there.
What the fuck? Oh shit!
What's that medicine? that what gives you light?
Oh!
What? Have you got anything else apart from the electricity? Have you got the fire one, the ice one, anything like that?
I've got the fire one, but I don't know how to switch out my telekinesis.
Oh god, I can't remember now. Jesus, is it LB or RB? Something like that. What it is?
Well, I can only hold 2 abilities at the same time, and I have the electricity one and I have the telekinesis one on me at the moment, but I don't know where to get the fire one back. I mean, unless they can do it here at the Gatherer's Garden.
Get purchase gene upgrade.
Nah, I don't have enough.
If you've got 3, you should be able to choose any 2 to equip at the same time. So you've got telekinesis.
Oh, okay. Zach Brown says go to a gene bank, but I don't know where those are though.
That's not very helpful, is it, Zach? Go to the gene bank. He doesn't know where they are. Okay. Unbelievable.
Gene bank.
I'm only joking, Zach.
Okay, it shows it on the map screen what it looks like. Oh my God, there's no gene banks around here. Oh, fuck me.
Can't see one. Nope.
No active goal.
So, unlucky George.
Ah, shit. Well, would fire be would even work against that guy?
I can't remember.
Shit.
I know electricity definitely hurts him.
Okay, so let's try this again. What?
So you yourself up with medicine and you get lightning?
Yeah, basically, they're like you see these at the Gatherer's Garden. You see like these little vials right there. Well, you see those like maybe in a vending machine, or you get the first one in a vending machine, but after that you see like little like those vials out and about, and you drink it, or like you put it in your system and like it changes you and you get these new powers. It's very, very kind of like a fucked up way to get.
You've got telekinesis as well, haven't you? So you could pick up objects and chuck objects at it if there's any objects around as well.
I wish. What's anti-personnel auto rounds like? What does that do?
Anti-personnel.
Mm.
Well, if they were mines.
I got electric bucks.
That's gonna shock them.
Okay. I guess I'll try these. Machine gun. I'll try the auto personnel. Anti-personnel. See if that does anything. I got a wrench. Let's see. Let's go.
Yeah, he could undo his screws or his bolts.
Zach Brown also says, I think Irrational Games is a new studio. Don't know the name, and I don't know if they're still part of 2K. I'm sure the next game will be good. Yeah, I think so. I mean, Bioshock Infinite, I mean, some people had a problem with it, especially when it first came out. That it wasn't as good as Bioshock 1. There weren't that many powers. But, I mean, you had the Skyhook.
Yeah.
I haven't played it yet, so I don't know exactly, you know, what the changes are. But, I mean, I remember watching a Let's Play of it, and it looked similar to Bioshock 1 and 2. But, I mean, maybe the story was wasn't as good, maybe.
Out of the 3... Infinite, I'm not going to say worse because that indicates, you know, I thought it was a crap game, which it's not. But out of the 3, that was at the bottom. Number 2 was the best one for me, and then number 1.
Mm. Oh, G5's live on Twitch.
What is his name? Oh
shit, Mob Gang.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
Okay, so Zach Brown also says, What did you write, Julio? Pog Sizer?
It's a picture of Scizor.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Scizor from Pokemon, yeah.
Okay.
Does more damage against humans, and I think armor-piercing ammo is self-explanatory. Yeah.
So the anti-personnel. Okay, so that wouldn't work against Big Daddy then. Never. So better not use it. Well, the armor-piercing rounds on my pistol didn't do much, to be honest. So I'll
This stream's been going really well since you started it. You've had I haven't noticed any like lag or hiccups or anything.
Okay, that's good. Which is that's kind of good because I can't see obs. But yeah, it goes pretty well. Sometimes I get like maybe like 400 drop frames if I go. For some reason, if I go like 5 hours long, which I've done before, it's just. And then I go back to obs. It's like, oh look, you dropped 400 frames.
Yeah, I only the test stream I did earlier was only 10 minutes, and I checked. It said out of I don't know how many frames it was, 2,000 or 3,000 something. I didn't drop any, but I'm sure if I went for like 2, 3, 4 hours, I would drop frames. I think everyone probably would, or most streamers anyway. You wouldn't notice it on the stream, I doubt, because they'd be so sporadic. But you know, after a 5-hour stream, it says you got 50 frames in 5 hours. You know, you probably streamed 500,000-600,000 frames or something like that, and out of that got.
What the fuck? Yeah.
That's not bad.
Shit.
He's coming.
He's coming. Trying to fuck you. Oh shit! Oh, he's coming. He missed. He missed.
I know what's up with Twitch. You just come up with a message. None of your friends are online. Get out there and add more.
Oh, this is.
I'm watching one.
Oh, I'm cheating the game. Oh shit. Oh, he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to do.
George has found a glitch. He's going mental. Look at him, look. He's done him. He's done him. Rescue or harvest? Oh, you nasty. How could you? Seriously?
Seriously?
Man.
Saving little girls?
Unbelievable. I don't know.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's
so well up to that point.
What? Seriously?
And yeah, you got $20 after all that.
Yeah, you don't get much money in this game. It's so stupid.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
And I just wasted my. Oh god. I love how random enemies, just show up after you defeat somebody hard.
Yes, Zach Brown, Bioshock 2 does.
This is more love. I need to play Bioshock 2 then. I mean, obviously I'm still playing through the first one, but I don't know how long Bioshock 1 is. Like how many hours?
I can't remember, man. I played it on the 360 when it first came out.
Zach Brown, if you know, can you tell me like approximately how many hours it takes to beat?
We get Hayden to stream Bioshock 2. Ultra settings.
Ultra settings.
Out in his shed. What? Why am I getting lag?
What am I
What's your upload speed?
I had a meh.
Meh. No, it's meh.
I'm saving it because I don't trust this game. Oh, okay, so about 11 or 12 hours for each one. Okay, so I've been playing total for about 4 hours, so I got... Okay.
Yeah, I think Zach's talking about, if you're a fairly decent gamer.
Okay,
you probably-
so if you're complete shit, there might be another 20 hours. Let's see. Medical Pavilion Foyer. Oh, really? Just chucking grenades. Jesus. Boo-doo-boo. Vending machine.
Are you guys gonna play ARMS on PE Arena?
Yeah, I will. I have it on Switch. Well, obviously, because it's only on Switch. But
I don't know the results yet, but when I voted for Rocket League or something, and
Yeah.
I saw that ARMS was actually ahead of Smash.
yeah, when
And
I
I was like, wow.
yeah, when I voted, ARMS is still in the lead. Like
Yeah.
ahead of Rocket League, ahead of Smash also.
Yeah, I voted like 2 hours ago, and it was Rocket League in third, Smash second, and ARMS was in first.
Which is pretty
Wow.
surprising.
I thought Smash would
Well,
take the lead easily.
I think because most of us, most of us don't have a Wii U and Smash, so a lot of us don't get to play. So like it's just gonna be like if we play Smash, it's gonna be me, Cheezer, maybe John if he's around, OJ, and that's about it. Like like Julio doesn't have a Wii U, G5 doesn't have a Wii U. Like a lot of people in our community right now don't have Wii U's anymore. So unfortunately,
ARMS wins it.
yeah.
OJ's not going to be. He's going to play it, but he's not going to be
Serious.
overjoyed.
I think he likes ARMS. I mean, it's not his favorite, obviously, but I think
He likes it, and he was so hyped before it came out,
Mhm.
and he played it for quite a while, but he just hasn't played it. He hasn't really played it since he's been getting updates. All he's really been playing is Xenoblade 2.
Well, I also think this is a great opportunity to play ARMS because it's been so long since we've played ARMS on PE Arena that we've gotten like multiple content updates, multiple new characters, new stages, new music, new changes. We have button controls now. It's a much better game than when it first launched back in June of 2017, in my opinion.
I
And
did
the
that Bible test punch or whatever that just passed this weekend.
Yeah. What's up?
I didn't care for it. I'm not gonna buy it.
It's a
It's like a hit and miss, I guess, for people. I don't think it was bad. I didn't really care for it.
yeah. I mean, it's certainly not for everybody. It's not a traditional fighter. It's a 3D fighting game where you punch people in the face, and it's just like.
Were there still enough people playing Julio that like you didn't have to wait ages and ages to get into a game?
To be honest, I don't think I fought against anybody. I opened it up like the first hour it was available, and
Is somebody there?
I don't know if it made me do a tutorial or something, but I just didn't care for it. And I shut it down and deleted it.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Well, I mean, I feel like you got to give it a chance, but I don't know.
I mean, I tried. I don't know. I think I put it as, I'm not a huge fan of fighting games.
Oh, okay.
Basically, because I suck, and then they make you rage.
They make you rage. They make you pull a G5.
I had fun with Pokemon.
Yeah.
The only fighting game I really like is Smash.
Hmm.
You know, so I don't care for Tekken or Street Fighter or anything like Mortal Kombat, nothing like that. I can only play like an hour and I'm done.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat I like, but to be honest, I never played Mortal Kombat. I just like watching it on YouTube. Just watching the different like I gotta say Mortal Kombat and Injustice have probably the best fighting game stories out there, in my opinion.
The latest Injustice is
Mhm.
good.
I don't know how they do it. Like they actually incorporated a hardcore fighting game with a very believable, interesting story with great voice acting, facial animations, and really, you know, not a lot of other fighters can do that. I mean, Smash, I don't know if that's gonna have a story mode. Street Fighter V's story mode wasn't very good. You know, I don't know.
And it's developed by a UK games company.
NetherRealm?
Yep.
Oh, I
And
didn't know they
the
were UK.
CEO said not long after the Switch launched, and he reiterated it a couple of months ago, that he would absolutely love to see that game on the Switch.
Mm. Well,
But he did say there would have to be some compromises, obviously.
oh, definitely, yeah. I think there's gonna be change. I mean, but Injustice 2 is on mobile. Injustice 2 runs on mobile phones. I think they can get Injustice 2 to run on Switch. Obviously, looking better, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
It's like, I remember when the Switch launched, and everyone actually, well, say everyone, maybe not so much Nintendo gamers, but everyone else said Nvidia are blatant liars. Because Nvidia came out and said, you know, we've gone into an actual partnership with Nintendo. The CEO of Nvidia, he claims it's a 20-year partnership, but I've only ever heard Nintendo say it's a
10-year, yeah.
But anyway, he said, and on this, he said it's a custom X1 A2 chip, and between us, we've put over 500 man-years customizing it, developing low-level APIs and everything. And then, of course, Digital Foundry did a die test of what is in the Switch compared to a standard X1. Now, a die test is like an X-ray. And they said, no, Nvidia basically did nothing. It's exactly the same. Look, you can see this bit going to that bit, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that is an X-ray. If you take an X-ray of a car sideways on, and an X-ray of the exact same model that's got a few extra features in it, it's likely not going to show up on an X-ray if you actually look inside the engine and that. Digital Foundry don't have access. I think there's 4 of them in the world, and Nvidia has 2 of them. They cost around $15 million each. They're special microscopes that enables them to work on such small chips as if they were full-blown desktop graphic cards.
Jeez.
And it's only when you get to that level that you'll be able to see if any other work really has been done. Digital Foundry just taking an X-ray and say, no, it's the exact same chip. They lied. They didn't do anything. Man, seriously.
But Digital Foundry is always right.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Whichever way you slice
Digital
it,
Foundry.
good man died.
Couldn't even properly review a game because they haven't got a 144 hertz FreeSync monitor. Brilliant. Unbelievable.
Didn't they get I forgot what the game was, Red Out, I believe?
Red Out.
Yeah, they
Yep.
got that wrong, which was hilarious. And
potentially damaged sales of that game for about 4 or 5 days.
definitely before they
apologised and did a new video. Called the developers liars. No, the game never hits 4K, and the developers were like, really? We made that patch. We know what it does. And they went back, tested it. Oh, actually, yeah, it does go up to 4K. Mother, if I worked for that company, I'd be like, you mother tuckers, man. Seriously, if you're going to put this technical crap out there to viewers who potentially come to your site, who want to know these details before they buy a game, you've just messed up maybe a week's worth of sales for us.
And the most important week. I mean, that's when you get the most sales. I feel. Is when the game first comes out, and they come out and say, "Oh, well, it's not actually. They lied. It doesn't get up to 4K." And it's like people believe in Digital Foundry to get the information right. People base decisions when it comes to buying games on graphics. I mean, as much as we don't like it, it happens, and Red Out knows it. The people who make Red Out know it, and it's just like, and you get it wrong, and you say, well, it doesn't reach 4K. Well, in fact, it does. And now you told all these people who believed in you, who take everything you say as gospel, and it turns out you fucked up. And I feel as though I think people should kind of. I mean, I'm not saying stop watching Digital Foundry because people like that stuff, whatever. But I don't think you should put that much stock into Digital Foundry because they're humans. They make mistakes, and I just feel like they have some power over what gets bought and what doesn't. It's almost as if they're reviewing games, but for the wrong reasons. I feel they look at it purely from a technical aspect, and that's how some people judge games. Just how many frames is it, what the resolution is. If it's not up to what the industry standard is, then I'm not buying it. I'm not paying attention to it. That's why so many people were shitting on Zelda when it came out. Oh, it's 900p. It's 30 frames per second. That's bullshit. I'm not buying that game. Are you kidding me? A huge open world game like that, of course it runs 30 frames per second. Like, what do you expect from a mobile processing chip? Like, like they expect 60 frames from a huge open world game. Like, oh my god, I swear.
Well, put it this way, yeah. The CEO of that company that makes Redout, after that Digital Foundry article came out, he actually went on record. There's articles of him being interviewed. Said, you know, there may be a case for us for legal action for this because we've obviously lost sales. And, right? If they hadn't come out and reacted the way they did and insisted, yet it uses dynamic scaling and at times it hits 4K. If they'd just left it and not said anything, would Digital Foundry have gone back and retested it, or just left their original verdict and just left that out there? I
don't think they would have. I personally don't think they would have.
Why would they? They wouldn't have thought to go back and retest it.
No, because
we tested it. Our machines that tell us everything tell us it's not hitting 4K. So, you know, it's only because that CEO came out that they were forced to go back and retest and admit, yeah, we were wrong. It does hit 4K.
Yeah, and like you said, I think the only reason why they even went back and changed their verdict is because of the complaints from the development team. That was the only reason. And everybody was right on board shitting on the game because it doesn't reach 4K, even though the development team said it would with the patch. And that's another thing. Nobody within this community can fact check Digital Foundry. Like, the developers had to do it. The developers had to come out and say, "Hey, like this is wrong. Like, what are you talking about? It does reach 4K." But if they didn't do that, if they didn't know about Digital Foundry, if they didn't watch their videos or know anything about them, nobody else would say anything. Nobody else is Digital Foundry anymore. I mean, people pretend to be online. You know, Shinobu likes to call them Digital Foundry Juniors. You know, it's just I think they have too much, not power, but they have a lot of sway in what is appreciated in terms of video games and what isn't. And I mean, look, people like 4K, people like 60 frames. I don't have anything against that, but it's just when you judge a game solely on that aspect, it's like you're kind of screwing over games that maybe don't reach those technical heights, but they're still fantastic games, you know?
Well, wait until Digital Foundry has a chance to test Redout when it launches on the Switch, because it's coming to the Switch. I can't wait to see their verdict on the Switch version. It's running at 240p. That's lower than the 3DS. How do you know that? Well, we've got no way of testing portable mode. We have to guess the resolution. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Zach Brown also says VG Charts is also very credible, and they're always right.
Yeah. What was it that time on OJ stream? He was talking about Super Bomberman R, and this was only a few months ago actually. And he was talking about the launch games on the Switch and how people said, "No, that's not going to sell," and someone in chat said, "Well, no, actually, Bomberman R actually a flop because VG Charts has got it at 80-something thousand." And OJ said, go and look at last week. I did a video where Konami actually came out and said, you know, at this moment in time, the game has actually shifted over 500,000 units. The VG chart is a little bit off with that 80,000 number. Who do you trust, Konami or VG charts? You know what I mean? It's,
Yeah.
they are off a lot of the time.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some of their numbers that they post on their website, and I feel like, and even when Nintendo, like let's just say it's a Nintendo game, even when Nintendo officially announces the sales number of a game, they still don't update their website. It's insane how unmotivated they are to report the facts. They just guess.
Right. How many copies of this game sold? Whoever says the highest number first, 90,000. Yep, right, 90,000 copies sold.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It's ridiculous, man. they claim to be what are they? Like a video game, sales and site kind of thing. Report on how much a game has sold. Well, sorry, if you're gonna do that, make sure you actually get your facts right and update it every now and then. Check the sales of a game after 3 months and then go back and check after 6 months so you can update your charts. Don't just leave it at, well, after 3 months it's sold 50,000. Well, we're now 2 years later and you've still got it at 50,000. You're telling me it hasn't sold any more in the last year and 9 months.
After sales, after specials, and didn't
exactly. Yeah.
Zach Brown also says a good game shouldn't be overlooked because it runs in 30 frames per second. Of course not. I mean, think of all the games that run in 30 frames per second that were amazing.
New Spider-Man's coming out, runs at 30 frames per second.
Yeah. And we're not complaining. I'm not saying, you know, like, oh, how come it's not 60 frames? It's like, because it's an open world game. It's an open world Spider-Man, and if you look at the graphics, of course it's not going to run in 60 frames. Like, the game looks amazing visually. Of course it's not going to be 60. And I think, who's doing the game? Insomniac, I believe? They're the ones developing it. Yeah.
Insomniac Games, yeah.
I feel as though they knew, regardless of what they did, I'm pretty sure the size of the game is going to be pretty big. I think they knew this game is not going to run in 60 frames ever, unless we make the game look terrible. So let's just abandon the notion of 60 frames and just keep the game at 30, and let's try to make the game look as good as possible, because most open world games, if not all of them, run in 30. So it's not this huge downgrade. It's not a huge, like letdown. Like, oh my god. How are we gonna function with 30 frames? You know, like the Batman games were in 30 frames per second. Batman Arkham City is my favorite Batman game of all time, and that game runs in 30 frames per second. Yep. It's a fantastic. I was gonna play it today, like after I'm finished streaming Bioshock. I was gonna stream Arkham City because that's just another game that I want to stream because I think it's such a good, amazing game, and I haven't played it in a few years. But yeah, I mean it's amazing, you know. So Breath of the Wild, obviously, like I mentioned before, it's amazing.
30 frames per second is smoothing, as long as it's a constant or near constant 30 frames per second. That is smooth enough for, well, I have an opinion that, like, games, my favourite genre is realistic driving simulations like Forza, Motorsport. In games like that, that's the one game or genre I'd say, or Dirt Rally, where 60 frames per second really does help, because you're making adjustments all the time. You're moving that stick all the time to keep on track, to get around that corner just right and stuff like that. 60 frames per second, if you can, really help. But even at 30, I'd still play them.
I would. I mean, that's why I always say, like, for me, I mean, obviously 60 is better, but if you can't hit 60, then I want the second best thing is a stable 30 frames per second. 30 frames, if you can get it locked, that's fantastic. I'll take that, and I'll still enjoy the game. Maybe it's because I'm just a different type of gamer, but I feel as though that is, I think that's a fair trade-off in my opinion, in terms of, you know, wanting the game, especially if it's on like the Switch, which is a mobile processor. If you're playing in handheld mode, you know, it's running off of a battery. There's some compromises that have to be made in order to be able to play these games anywhere you want. I mean, look at Wolfenstein 2. Wolfenstein 2 on the Switch looks great. It blows certain people's expectations out of the water because they expected it to look, you know, like Doom, or maybe even a little worse than Doom. Which, why? Like, I think it's on the same engine, so I think at the very least it would look the same as Doom. And it looks good, you know, on a mobile processor.
It looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I said some people asking, well, if they can't get a game running at 60, why don't they get it running at 40 or maybe 50 frames per second? And I've said to some people that that's mainly due to, like, your monitor will refresh at 60. It's a 60 hertz monitor, and it's very hard. Like Nvidia's latest graphic cards, like the graphic card you've got, George, yeah. It's got a feature where it can put frames in between those 60 lines that kind of pass spot every second. It can interleave frames. So it's a lot with that, because your monitor refreshes normally at 60 frames per second. So you can do 30 if you want, or you can do 60. To do 45, you would have, it's a lot of work, and you would get screen tearing, you would flipping, because you're messing around with the actual refresh rate of that monitor, and it's very hard.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, I'm sure, you know, well, we can't get it at 60, let's get it at 50 or 45. Well, ask yourself, why don't developers do that? There must be a reason. It's 30 or 60. And that's the main reason, anyway. Like Rich TV, I mean, the TV I've got now, it's ridiculous. It's a Samsung, it's 600 megahertz. It refreshes 600 times a second, but normal TVs are PAL 60. They are refreshed 60 times a second, and yet TV shows are broadcast at 29.5 frames per second. They don't even run at 30 frames per second, mate. TV shows, they do not run at 30 frames per second, they run at 29.5. And yet people watch TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Isn't the frames for a movie 24 frames per second?
Yeah.
I believe.
23 point something, or 24, yep. People watch movies.
Yeah.
If you can't play a game at 30 frames per second, don't you dare tell me you've gone to a movie and watched a movie. Because obviously you can't watch it, mate, because that's running at under 30. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or Digital Foundry would be at the movies. Excuse me, this isn't running at 60 frames.
Can you imagine a game night round your house with someone from Digital Foundry? You sit down on the couch and it's like, right, press start on your controller, mate. I can't. Why? Can't you see that little bit of where they have an anti-alias, that top left corner? Mate, just press start. What? No, look, they haven't used any textures, the low-level Get the fuck out. Get out of my house now, mate, you cock.
Get the fuck out of my house.
It would be a nightmare trying to have a gaming night with one of them idiots.
Imagine, like, playing, like, let's say the new Smash Brothers comes out, and there's 8-player Smash, and you're inviting everybody, somebody from Digital Foundry comes over, and they're like, that texture all the way in the background, that's not a high level, that's low level textures. I don't really like that. I'm not playing this game. Like, what the? It's Smash Brothers. Like, you can't just not pay attention to the background. Like, what about in front of you? No, like, I don't play games. I like looking at them and judging them.
Yeah. No, I can't play it because that texture just keeps catching my eye, and I'm being put off. That's the one thing they don't put in their videos. How is the game fun?
Oh no, definitely not. Because then that goes against everything that they say. That goes against the whole importance of their channel. They want everybody to believe like that frames and resolution are the one only thing that makes a game worth buying. The frames and resolution. If a game's fun, oh, that doesn't matter. That's. I mean, I guess that's okay if it's fun, but I mean, Digital Foundry could look at a game that's boring. It's the worst game to play ever. Not because of the frames, not because of the resolution, but just because the game itself is just bad. They would love that game because it would run at 4K, 60 frames per second, no drops, no dynamic resolution, no dynamic scaling, the best shadows, the best anti-aliasing ever. They would love that game. And it could be the worst game to play ever. Yep. It could be Amiibo Festival too. And they would love that game.
And it really annoys me. Nvidia have said this, and many games developers have said this. If a game is made in native, like 1080p, and you're running it on a 1080p monitor, if you're not sitting too close to it where it could potentially be damaging your eyes, or whatever, you're sitting the correct distance away. Anti-aliasing actually really doesn't need to be in that game at all, because those assets have been made at 1080p, so they look as good as they should anyway. All anti-aliasing will do is kind of blur the edges to try and make it look even more smooth. And if you're sitting the correct distance away, you're not even going to notice that anyway. So they keep going on about where there's no anti-aliasing. Yeah, they've obviously skipped anti-aliasing, but the game runs in 1080p, mate. There's no need to put anti-aliasing actually on there.
Didn't Hayden learn that yesterday or some day before?
Yeah, he kind of didn't believe me, and then he turned anti-aliasing off, and he was like, "Actually, this actually looks pretty good." And I'm like, "What?" You know, Nvidia have said it, games developers have said it. I've never heard anyone from AMD claim it. I don't know why, but yeah. But if you're sitting too close to a monitor where you shouldn't be that close, you probably might notice something. But if you're sitting far enough away, you don't need anti-aliasing. It just tries to make smooth edges even more smooth. But by doing that, if you're sitting too close, you'll see actually blurs on those smooth edges. So, yeah. Oh, George got banned. At everyone. He didn't say hello, everyone. He just got at everyone. Brilliant.
Mark, tell him it's set up as shit.
Set up?
Yeah, tell him it's.
What do you want me to say? Brilliant.
What'd he say?
He told me to put in chat, tell Droid got banned, he's set up as shit. Put a picture of his setup. No, you do it, I'm not doing it. Oh, if I do, I'll put, Julio told me to say, your setup is shit.
You set up shit.
Nah, mate, looks shit.
Nah, don't even bother, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to kill this stupid Big Daddy and it's fucking me up. Oh my god.
Sweet. Oh, he's got these.
Hi, Droid. Oh, is Droid in the chat? Is he in Discord?
I don't think he's in Discord. No, he's not in Discord.
Okay.
He just put his picture up.
Oh, okay.
Put at everyone. Oh god, Julio's typing garbage. Oh my god.
Jesus,
He's still online. Yeah, he's still online. Oh my god.
After garbage, the 3 middle finger emojis.
3 middle finger emojis.
Yeah. Shit's going down, man. Shit's going down.
Zach Brown says Arkham City is awesome. It's the best Arkham game in my opinion. Yeah, I think so too, Zach Brown.
What was the last one that came out where you could control the Batmobile?
Arkham Knight.
I liked that. I liked Arkham City, but I liked some of the new mechanics in Arkham Knight as well.
Yeah, I think.
Yo, get the fuck. No. I've got. Mark told me to say it. Oh, he's got bad. Dude. No. Oh my good friend. What a creep.
Yeah,
Oh,
he didn't.
look at David, very eye pleasing. Creep.
Very eye pleasing.
Mark, he's not gonna believe you because you put in my friend.
He's not gonna believe you. Take this. And take this. Yeah.
David, man, Julio stirring up the shit that Mark told me to say. Unbelievable. You see the size of Julio. I'm a small guy, man. Am I going to force Julio to say something? Get out of here. Get out of here, man. No. Get out of it. That far. Unbelievable. George is... Oh, no. George is typing. Oh, shit.
Might have
Oh man, by me saying that, yeah, I think it's like I'm trying to. Ah,
I'm telling OJ.
I'm telling OJ. Jesus Christ. That.
You don't even know what to say. He's like typing the delete series.
yeah, no. I just want to see who he's directing it at. Does it come out as
like my good friend? What should I say?
My good friend.
my good friend? You effing creep! I know it was you. Friend is a bit too strong a word. What?
Then he goes up and sees David's like very eye pleasing, and that makes him super happy.
You have shown kindness to my little one.
Jesus, Droid, what are you
Are you
typing,
really a
man?
friend?
Shakespeare or something?
Shakespeare.
The little one brings you a gift.
Shakespeare.
Typing.
Our appreciation.
I just want to see who it's aimed at. If it comes at to Julio or to Mark.
It's definitely going to you. He's gonna.
I don't know though, because I DM'd him, so it might be to George after what I said.
$48. That's it. That's bullshit. Dude, I just wasted all of my... most of my health packs and hypos beating this
Wow.
guy.
He was typing for like 5 minutes and it comes out.
Like OJ's.
Thanks everyone, it's nothing like Player Essence.
Droid's a nice guy.
Droid's guy.
He's a guy.
He's here.
Jesus.
Oh, bro, you shouldn't have put really on.
Anything I say, you just like, oh mate, you really shouldn't have
I'm
done
just
that.
saying, like, if you read that, it just sounds super sarcastic. Like, really.
No, I'm trying to be nice.
I'm trying to be nice.
I'm trying to stop the damage that you caused, man. Unbelievable. Why am I even talking to you still? Because you got me right in it with that. Unbelievable. Jesus. What did I do? It's like... Now, Jesus.
Bro, the British are coming.
The British are coming. Oh yeah, Mark, how's Brexit coming along?
I don't think it is really. A lot of like even like Conservative members who are actually part of the cabinet, they are like saying there should actually be another referendum because when the first referendum took place, people that voted to leave weren't really made aware of what would happen once we leave and how long it'd take and what it would mean. So we should have another referendum now that they're more informed. And I'm like, no, you gave them you gave us a choice. maybe because some of you didn't like the choice we made,
Mhm.
you now want another referendum, hoping that people will say, actually, no, we want to stay. Do you know what the rest of Europe will say to that? Oh my God, the UK can't make its mind up. They want to leave. They want to stay. They want to leave. They want to stay. You know what I mean? The EU was formed after World War II to stop the chance of any more wars in Europe happening, because leaders could come together and talk.
Yeah.
Chance of that happening now is very remote, so there's no need for a European Union. Very true, bro. All these people on Twitter saying Crash and Spyro are likely for Smash are really setting themselves up for just what? Yeah.
Well, I think.
That's true, bro.
Oh, what the? Oh my God! A fucking machine gun? Really? Jeez.
Like OJ has said many times, look at the characters in Smash. They're all from Western games, Japanese games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I can't think of a Western character that's been on a Nintendo system that Sakurai. Wait, it's not even. I mean, I don't know if Sakurai has the last word because he has to answer to Nintendo, but it's his baby at the end of the day. I mean, I've heard people asking for the guy from Doom. What's his name?
Doom guy.
He's a Marine.
Yeah.
The Doom guy.
Yeah. It's...
What's he? Do you know what I mean? That's ridiculous, man. Seriously. The Doom guy. Fantastic.
The Doom guy.
Sakurai even played Doom. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
I personally think, Sakurai will make some changes with this Smash in terms of which characters get in.
I'm not even sure that. I mean, some people are saying that Snake will return. I wouldn't bank on it now that what's his name, Hideo Kojima, you know, had to leave Konami after Konami screwed him over. I wouldn't even bank on that Snake is going to be in it. He may do. If one character returns, it would definitely be Snake, but a Western character.
Well, a Western character, I don't know, because we are banking on Sakurai being the lead, the director of the new Smash. But what if he's just a consultant, though? What if he's just, you know, putting it? He's asked for his ideas.
I think he is. I think he. Yeah, we know Bandai Namco is working on it. I think Sakurai, because he looks younger than he actually is, he's actually pretty old.
Yeah.
I think he's passing on his talents to younger developers, and he's like overseeing and giving advice, so that when he finally has to retire, you know, there are developers that he's kind of brought up speed and, you know, shown how to do this and how to do that will take over. But it's like what was I going to say? It's like a Western character, right? What Western game would, if you could only pick one game, if Sakurai said, right, I will cave in, I will put, it has to have been a game that's either been on a Nintendo system or we know is coming to the Switch. What character would you put, or would you think he would put? Because Suda51 has been trying for years to get Travis into Smash, and Anuma keeps saying no.
Yeah.
So Western character, but what character do you think has a chance, even a chance to get into Smash?
Well, I think I would have to agree with what OJ said, and I would say Rayman, in my opinion. Rayman, because Rayman has been on Nintendo systems before. He has ties to Nintendo. Ubisoft tends to be favorable towards Nintendo. They like Nintendo. I mean, they did abandon them during the Wii U, but a lot of people did. But
they love Nintendo.
They like Nintendo.
Been working with them for over 25 years. Yeah.
And plus, the Mario plus
Mario
Rabbids. Yeah, Mario
over
plus.
Over 1 million copies sold now. Yeah.
I think it's more than 1 million at this point.
So Rayman.
I think so.
What? I'm trying to imagine Smash and seeing Rayman on there. I could see Rayman. I could. It's not beyond the realms of possibility. It's not something that I'd imagine and think, get out of here, man. That would be awful. Because He's got his long extendable punch. He's got where he jumps up and flutters back down using his, what is it, his ears or whatever.
Yeah, it's his ears as helicopters.
And they could expand upon that. So that's a good choice, actually. Yeah.
Zach Brown says, yeah, Rayman would probably be the most likely Western character because, and I think Sakurai knows Rayman. I think he's played Rayman before. And that's another thing, like, it kind of depends on Sakurai, I think, at this point. Like, what he likes and what he wants in the game. But I think Rayman, would be the most likely, because Crash would be great, in my opinion. But, Crash has never really been on a Nintendo system before. At least I don't think. Oh, no, he was on the GameCube. He was on the GameCube, I think. Yeah.
Was it Crash Racing?
Twin Sanity, I believe. I believe it was that one. One of the games was on GameCube.
I thought there was a Crash Racing game as well. Maybe not, but yeah, it was definitely on the N64. I'm sure of it.
So he's been on Nintendo's platforms before, but Activision doesn't necessarily have the greatest relationship with Nintendo. I don't know. That's the thing, like, trying to predict certain characters that come into Smash is very hard because Nintendo sometimes throws curveballs and puts in characters that we never thought they would for two different reasons.
Zach Brown just quickly says, alright, I'm out.
Oh, okay. Thank you for watching, Zach Brown. I mean, I know this was a pretty long stream, so thanks anyway, man.
Have a good one, Zach.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I would hate to be a Numa, because whatever he does, he's never going to please all the Smash players, is he?
Oh, Numa.
Yeah. Not a Numa. Flipping heck. Sakurai.
Sakurai, yeah. He's not. And I think he knows that by now. I think he knows.
Yeah.
Where he's just like, you know what? We're just going to do what we want. we're just going to... Yeah.
That should be what he does, because he's the one developing the game. Well, him and by this time. Well, no, actually, hang on, no, it's HAL that are doing this one. It's not Bandai, it's HAL Laboratories, yeah. So it should be what he wants the game to be like. And if some people don't like it, sorry, he can't please everyone. If he tried to please everyone, the game would never get finished. Never get finished.
Oh, definitely not. Because there has to be a cutoff point at some point, because of the amount of new characters they want to add to the game, because of balancing issues and online stuff. It's just...
Yeah, that's why in Smash 4 on the Wii U, yeah, he had... Not only did he nearly lose his hand, he had 2 nervous breakdowns and he was hospitalised because of all the tweets he was getting from so-called fans saying, you have to put this character in, you have to put this character in, and he was under so much pressure that he could only put so many characters in. The game had to be finished by a certain time. And to be a developer, you shouldn't have to have nervous breakdowns and nearly lose your hand.
Yeah.
Jesus, man.
I think there's some directors or developers out there that would love to work on Smash but not be the guy in charge. The guy that everybody associates with.
Nearly lost his hand, but for very different reasons. But yeah, I would hate to be Sakurai. Of all the games, I would hate to have to be him. I'd love to be him because of what he can do, but I would hate to be him as well because you're just getting bombarded all the time.
Yeah, with just crazy fans asking for all these different things, all these different modes, all these different characters,
Supposed fans, instead of saying, you know what, you're an expert at what you do, Sakurai, whatever you do, I'm sure I'm going to enjoy the game, and, thank you for creating another Smash game, Instead it's, no, it's not, it's going to be crap if you leave out the one character I want, I'm not playing it at all. Unbelievable.
Well, yeah, I think Sakurai also not only has to deal with the pressures of the fans, but I think also from Nintendo. I think Nintendo is might be like the biggest fans of them all in terms of just like constantly pestering Sakurai to make a new Smash. Probably when the Switch was in development, they're like, okay, I know you just finished Smash for Wii U, but can you make the next one? Can you make the next one for our next system? And it's just, man.
Yeah, I wonder if he's ever
Said no.
I don't know. I wonder if, like, maybe he's not said it to Nintendo, like the higher ups at Nintendo themselves. I mean, if I was Sakurai, I'd never say it to Kimishima. Jesus Christ. I wonder if he ever thought, right, Smash 4, right, it's gone gold, it's out there now. Do you know what? I actually want to make a different genre of game for once. And he starts having ideas, and then Sakurai, Kimishima comes in, right, start Smash for the Switch right now. Right.
Oh, yes, sir.
You know what I mean? I wonder if he wanted to make a different genre, a totally different, non-fighting game.
Yeah, I think, well, he has with Kid Icarus. He made Kid Icarus Uprising on the 3DS.
That's true.
But that was when he had time, though. Like, he had time in between Smash games to make Kid Icarus. But because Smash fans are so rabid, and I think because Smash is such a... It's a system seller, no questions asked. It's no doubt about it. Smash will move systems. So I think with the combination of Nintendo wanting a new Smash, the fans wanting a new Smash, it's just, as if you're Sakurai, how do you turn them down and say, you know what, guys, I'm not doing Smash. I want to do a new game, or I want to do Kid Icarus Uprising 2, but he just doesn't have the time, you know? There's there's millions of people all around the world that want to play it, that want to play a new Smash Brothers, and there's only so many people in the world, or not so many, but there's only a few people in the world that can actually make a Smash game that's up to everybody's standards of what they want.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, it's hard.
And Sakurai cracks me up, because many times in the past he's been in interviews and he's absolutely stated, no, Smash is not a fighting game, it's a party game.
Yeah.
And then in other interviews he's absolutely stated, absolutely it's a fighting game, no question. It's a fighting game, very technical. It's like, well, on one hand you're saying it's not a fighting game, and in the next interview you're saying absolutely it's, you know, it's quintessentially a fighting game. It's like, you know, depending on the interviewer, do you give a different answer? It's so weird. So weird.
I mean, I think Sakurai felt as though like Smash was in a category all on its own. I think he meant when he said that it wasn't a fighting game. I think he meant it as a way of maybe it's something bigger than a fighting game. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not just your run-of-the-mill, like, okay, Street Fighter or Tekken. Like, it's something beyond that. Because it's not only just a great fighting game, but it's also the biggest crossover game ever. You know? Like, all of these characters coming together in one single game. I mean, I think because we're used to it now, it doesn't seem as big to us. But, I mean, Cloud, Bayonetta, Mario, Mega Man, Pac-Man, Ryu, like all these different characters are in the same game. That's such a huge thing. So I don't think it's, I mean, I think maybe he meant it that way. You know, that it's not just a fighting game. It's something beyond that. Instead of just, you know, like, oh, it's a 2D fighting game.
No, it's Smash. You say Smash to someone, and if they're anything to do with gaming, or they keep up with gaming, they know exactly straight away what you're talking about. Smash. Oh, I know Smash. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like kind of like Pokemon or Mario at this point, where I know Mario, or I know Pokemon. Like, oh yeah, I played it all the time I play it all the time. Oh, I'm waiting for the new one. You know. Although I think Pokemon fans are more rabid than Smash fans at this. I think, because Pokemon fans are just. There's so many of them, way more than Smash fans, and they are looking for any sort of information on the new Pokemon game. It's it's insane how highly anticipated Nintendo's second half is because of the idea of maybe Metroid comes out later this year, Bayonetta 3, Smash, Pokemon, Fire Emblem, Animal Crossing, like huge sellers, and maybe not all of them, but definitely some of those will be out this year. And that's a huge holiday for Nintendo, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, in their last investor meeting on that list, it said Pokemon 2018 or later. I think Nintendo are trying their hardest to help get that game finished and ready for a 2018 launch. To release that in the holiday period, man, I hope they've got some Switch stocks, saved up somewhere, because Japan will shut down.
I think so. I think Japan will. I know it was pretty crazy last year with the lottery lines and everything for the Switch in Japan, but I think when Animal Crossing comes out, when Pokemon comes out, I think those lines will be even worse than what they were last year. I personally think that.
Man, people are going to be jumping over each other, treading on each other. Right, we've got a queue of 10,000. We've got 5 Switches in stock. On your marks, get set, go!
We have 5 Switches. I mean,
it's going to be nuts, isn't it?
I think Japan might declare, like, whenever the release date of the new Pokemon game, I think they might declare that a national holiday. Just so that everybody's off. They have time to go to the store and line up for hours.
Oh, definitely. Especially with it being on Switch, all the updated graphics and everything. People are gonna...
Oh, yeah, like, that's another thing. Like, Pokemon on 3DS, I feel, has been held back by the hardware. And you could tell because of, like, the engine they're using. They're trying to do more and more things with the game to where there's slowdown in it. So for them to go from 3DS to Switch, I mean, that's such a huge jump from, like, okay, 3D models, a 3D world, okay, but then we move to Switch and it's like, whoa, okay, the graphics are a lot better. It's a bigger world. Maybe it's open world. I think that'll fit with Pokemon.
And the good thing is, I think what will help with development is the Pokemon assets are made in HD anyway, and then scaled down for the 3DS. So they've already been making those assets in HD for however many years. So it's not something new to them, like with the Wii U with Nintendo. They even came out and said, yep, we were caught off guard. We didn't realise the difference between developing in standard definition and then going to HD. The development time is a lot longer.
Oh, yeah, you bring up a good point. Like, maybe they were doing that so that when they do eventually move to HD, they're ready for it. A lot of the assets are already done. I mean, the world they would have to, I guess, build would be
HD.
Yeah,
but the actual assets like the Pokemon, unless they're going to bring in Pokemon that they've never had in there, brand new ones, they'd obviously have to make those brand new. But the existing ones, yeah, they're already done in HD. They just scale them right down to fit on the 3DS, and it helps keep as much detail as possible as well. Like if you have a stamp for a letter, if you take that picture in 4K and scale it down to the size of the stamp, it will keep a lot more detail than if you had a 720p picture and scaled it down. So that's why they've been doing it. But it could also be, because we know at some point it will be going to a home HD console. Let's make the assets in HD anyway and just scale them down.
I think that was pretty smart of them, in my opinion. I think the reason for doing that is because they knew at some point, maybe not with the Switch, because as we all know, I think the president or the CEO of the Pokemon company, they didn't believe in the Switch, which was hilarious. Jesus. I mean, I know Nintendo Switch haters didn't believe in it, but fuck. The Pokemon company president?
I mean, they're actually aligned and part of Nintendo, or Nintendo is part of them, and for the CEO to come out and say, well, we didn't think the Switch would actually sell that well. I bet that pleased Kimishima, didn't it?
Like, oh, fuck. He must have been looking over his...
Every meeting you attended, you were, yeah, this is going to be brilliant. Oh, we love that. And then you come out, yeah, we really didn't think it was going to sell.
I could just imagine them in the board meetings, like, okay, this is going to be the Switch. It's going to be a hybrid. There's going to be, like, detachable controllers. It could be, like, motion controls, but we're going to have standard controls also. And this president of the Pokemon company is like, yeah, that sounds great. And he leaves the meeting. He's like, oh, boy. Oh, another Wii U. Then he goes on Twitter, another Wii U happening, Nintendo.
Sitting in the meeting, yeah, Kimishima's at the head, and the guys from the Pokemon, they whisper, just keep smiling, keep smiling. If we don't smile, Kimishima's gonna kill us, mate. Yes, yep. That's couldn't have done it better ourselves, Kimishima.
They're like, what are you whispering over there? No, nothing. We're just saying that it's great. He gives them a thumbs up. Yeah. But you know what? I like the fact that I appreciate the honesty of that guy, because he didn't have to say that. He didn't have to say it.
No, he didn't.
No.
And I wonder if he got any flack from it. Saying it, you know what I mean? I don't know what his name is, but you know, after that interview, Mr. Kimishima said, "Could you go over to his office?" Yeah, I'll be there. No, he said, "Right now, please." Oh crap!
And he said to bring a belt for him to hit you with. Kimishima does not look like a guy who has fun, or likes to have fun. He does not.
No, I can honestly say I don't think I've seen him smile once myself. Not at all.
In all the photos I've seen him in, he looks a bit like serious business guy. I mean, like at the Nintendo Switch presentation back last year in January, he was on stage and he didn't smile once. He was up there, his hands were together, just talking about Nintendo Switch Online when he first got up there.
I mean, in that respect, he's the polar opposite of what Iwata was. Iwata was always smiling. He was hands-on. He was even presenting Nintendo Direct. Iwata.
Yeah, Kimishima doesn't do that.
Oh no, God no.
No.
What do you mean, me do a Direct? Get out
of
here.
Koizumi, you do him. He just told Koizumi to do it. Go, you do it.
I mean, I guess it's working because he's obviously, and the people he's put around himself, he's obviously doing something right.
Yeah, I think. Well, I don't know. Like, do you think maybe he's doing something right, or do you think he came into a position where things were already right?
Well, I mean, the Switch was Iwata's idea. It was his baby. Before he sadly passed away, he had already him, R&D, and some other higher-ups at Nintendo already come up with the idea. That's what the Wii U was supposed to be, but the technology wasn't there at the time. So, yeah, he was lucky in the... Well, no. That's the wrong word to say, because it sounds like, you know, oh, thank God Iwata died. No, he was lucky in respect that he came in just as they'd... Obviously, we can look back now and say he came in just as they'd hit on a fantastic idea. Or the technology was just there to do what they had hoped to do with the Wii U, but couldn't. And I'm sure decisions he's made, like Reggie Fils-Aimé, he might be the CEO, COO of Nintendo America, but he has no like voice in what Nintendo does. No, he has no decision making whatsoever. That all comes out of Kyoto in Japan. So I'm sure some of the decisions Kimishima's made have helped Nintendo on this roller coaster of a high. But yeah, Iwata definitely laid the groundwork.
Yeah, I think Iwata was really. I think he came up with all the basic ideas of the Switch, I believe. I think he was the one who probably wanted to work with NVIDIA.
He is. He's the one.
Mm.
Well, some people I've read some say that he approached NVIDIA, but then it was either Eurogamer or who's that other channel that's got gamer in the name? I can't remember now. Apparently, they say NVIDIA approached Nintendo because, well, see, I don't get that because how would NVIDIA know that Nintendo were looking for like a mobile SoC, an SoC system on a chip?
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
They wouldn't have just approached him and said, "Would you like to use our X1 chip?" So I think Nintendo actually approached NVIDIA myself.
Yeah, I think definitely because NVIDIA had their own mobile like devices, tablets, like the NVIDIA Shield. Like they were.
Yeah,
they were,
I've got them.
Mhm.
They're not bad devices. I've got the Shield tablet and the Shield TV. They're actually pretty good.
Mm.
It's just they didn't market them well. The one good thing about them is NVIDIA's grid streaming system, where they've taken, I think it's up to about 200 of the best PC games, and NVIDIA have actually optimized it, gone in and optimized these games, and you pay a monthly fee, or you can buy them outright, and you can play them on your Shield tablet, or even better on your Shield TV.
Mhm.
And it's, I mean, they've got massive supercomputers powered by Titan X's and things like that. That's the one good thing they did.